What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a haul for my April birthday movie haul that I got. Now, we haven't been doing a lot of hauls lately, but, we picked up a few things here from, Dollar Tree, my birthday, at a secondhand exchange store, and online. So let's check it out. Now, as I mentioned, a lot of these are going to be from all over the place. Like some of these, first one, Everfall, which I've never heard of, by the way, is a Dollar Tree movie that we got on DVD. It says, "What would you sacrifice?" It's got Jessica McLeod, Joe Perry, and Cole Fiore. Looks like there's some skates in it and some supernatural stuff going on, but it looks like there's a girl in the front who's like sort of skating, ice skating, and that's sort of tied into this. But this is just one of the ones I got from the Dollar Tree. We sort of take a risk on them just to see what they're like.
Remember what she gave up for you, for your show. What do you want from me?
Up next, we got Lord. You can see the fishing hooks here. This is a Dai Wei Lee film. It says, "Looks can be deceiving." This one looks like another supernatural film with some pretty bloody stuff going on in here. This is another Dollar Tree buy that I got that, you just take a risk on. Sometimes they might be good. I haven't seen any of these, but I always ask you guys if you've seen them or if you watch them yourself, and maybe we'll review them on the podcast or here on the YouTube. So if you haven't been listening to our podcast on all over the place, it's on Spotify, Apple, anywhere you can listen to a podcast, Beyond the Void Horror Podcast, you should be listening. Up next, we got Canadian Bacon with John Candy. I don't remember it being all that amazing, but I think it's one of the last movies that John Candy did before he passed away. John Candy had some really heartfelt and funny moments in a lot of my favorite films growing up, specifically with Steve Martin and a few others. Yeah, this is a wacky, zany sort of comedy from the 90s. Yeah, it was 1995. Don't remember quite much about. Do you guys like this movie? Should I watch it soon? Let me know. We got this for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. Up next, we got some giveaways. That's right. We got Final Contagion. Several different directors in this movie, actually, I should say. I think there's German, Italian, and there's 3 or 4 different shorts in this. But I watched this one and I actually kind of liked it. This is a movie that is an anthology that has a bunch of short films in it that are over the top graphic gore sort of showpieces in these short sort of films. Some of these are pretty graphic and pretty gross. I believe the last one was really graphic. There's one where a guy's changing in his room and he refuses to leave. There's a couple in here. Fairly decent, I would say. If you're into the gore and people getting contagious diseases that sort of spread, that's sort of the thing that all of these shorts have to deal with. Some sort of contagion that basically makes people melt or fall apart or go crazy. Got a lot of that in there. We're going to give this away. I did do a review on this before, so if you want to check it out on the channel, you can. You can sign up for our Long Live the Void VIP club at longlivethevoid.com. It's on the front page, or you can just go to VIP club in the tab, but fill it out, and you might be a winner of this in the future. We do big box giveaways. But we got that for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. Up next, we got Voodoo Apocalypse, which I've yet to see, but this is sort of one of those pastiche, sort of retro style 70s sort of faux horror movies that they go wild and bananas and kind of shoot in that retro style to kind of make fun of itself and be funny. I have not seen it, but it looks pretty wild and I would like to review it at some point in time. But we have an extra copy of this, and we're going to be giving this away. We got it for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. Booyah. Up next, this one's a Shudder one that we got. It's called Yummy. It's actually, I think it's a Swedish film. I'm not 100% sure, but I watched this on Shudder. It's sort of a zombie comedy, you know. It's a really graphic, gory. I wasn't really blown away by it, but there is some funny parts in it. There's like a scene with this guy and his penis, which is kind of gross. Yeah, it's really just one of those over-the-top gore kind of movies, trying to be funny. You may or may not like the humor in this. I was okay. I was kind of middling about it. But some people really liked this movie, and they thought it was a really excellent film. I was a little surprised by that. I think I gave this like a 6.5. That was another Dollar Tree buy. Up next, we got Arrow's Yokai Monster Collection. The 4 films are 100 Monsters, Spook Warfare, Along with Ghosts, and The Great Yokai War, which I believe is a Takashi Miike film. These are the first 3 that I mentioned are in this set, which you get with both of these. And then you get The Great Yokai War, which is the more updated version of this. These ones are from 68 and 69. And I'll tell you what, man, some of the visuals and camera tricks that they did for these movies back in the day are absolutely insane. And when I saw the trailer for this, I think I've even seen The Great Yokai War, by the way, I was kind of like blown away by it. Recently, Arrow had a sale, and so I picked this up for like 40, 50 bucks, I think. And I was really excited about it because I think it's like $100 normally. So I wanted to pick it up, and we may be doing reviews of this in the future. I'd really like to anyway. Yokai are demons, of course, and it's sort of like a fantasy demon thing. You might have seen, like, I don't know, they're called kappas, which are these turtle-like demons. Essentially, in a lot of the lore is that there was this mountain, and when it broke open, all these demons spilled out into the world, and it's pretty wild stuff. You know, you got everything in this, like demons with long necks that slink around, turtle demons, all kinds of stuff. Demons that look like umbrellas and lanterns and weird shit too. But man, some of the visual stylings in this look fantastic, and I'm super glad to check this out. So stay tuned to the podcast. We're probably going to do it on there, and we'll review some of these. Hopefully, maybe we'll do all 4 in a row, and hopefully I can get Christina to do that. She's not always fond of these, but for 1968 and 69, these look amazing. And, you know, new Blu-ray release. Come on. Up next, I already did a review of this, and this is a movie that's come out on Shudder the 12th of this month. By the time this video gets up, probably will be in the past, so this will be out on Shudder already. But this is The Sadness, and this is a 4K uncut version that you probably will be able to see on Shudder, only it won't be in 4K, it'll be in 1080p. I wanted the 4K of this. I really enjoyed this film. This is some pretty gnarly stuff. You know, it isn't the most graphic thing I've ever seen, but for some people, this is going to be pretty graphic stuff for them, and they're going to want to look away at a lot of points. But essentially, a bunch of people go crazy. They can't help themselves from being some of the most vile, disgusting, sexually violent individuals who have no control over their bodies and are attacking, eating, fucking, and yeah, everything to people and anything around. But yeah, this was a crazy film. You can watch my review on it. Check it out if you haven't and you have Shudder. It's up there now. But yeah, you should still be able to get this. There's a link in my review of this movie because I did an unboxing as well. And you could probably still pick up a copy for it. But yeah, it looks great. Up next, I'm going to throw this one in here because we just got it and I haven't been able to do the haul yet, so I figured might as well just grab this. This is a new movie that came out this year called The Cursed. It's a werewolf film that is a period piece sort of film that is some of the most raw, atmospheric, great shit I've seen. We did a review of this movie on the podcast that you can listen to, and I'll try to put a link down below for you guys to check it out. But yeah, man, this was a real big surprise. I'm not a period piece fan. I'm not even really a werewolf fan. And this movie kind of impressed me on both fronts. And I think we both gave it like an 8.5 or a 9. I think Christina gave it a 9. I gave it 8.5. But this was really, really impressive stuff. And it is brutal, raw, and really different when it comes to werewolves. The way that they treat it and some of the scenes and imagery that they do in this film are fantastic shot horror movie. So if you haven't seen this, it's out now. We got this for $13. The bonus feature behind the scenes of The Cursed, which you can see on the back here. I'm fine with that because I just wanted the movie in general, but to have a little extra on there, nice too. Up next, we got Robert Reborn, which is, there's like 5 or 6 of these movies. I've never seen one of them. For some reason, they're always at the Dollar Tree, and I have like 4 of them now, including this one. So I figure one day I'm going to watch all of them in a row, and hopefully we'll enjoy them like I do Puppet Master in some weird way. You know, I don't love those movies, but they have this like weird charm about them, and I think that's what this kind of movie is trying to capture. Have you seen Robert Reborn? Have you watched any of the franchise? Am I going down some seriously dark path that I should not watch these? I mean, I have 4 of them. I might as well give them a shot. But yeah, we got this for $1.25 recently at the Dollar Tree. Up next, we got like a 2-pack thing here. This was the Horror Express and The Crucible of Terror. These are older films. This is a movie I've grown to love, actually. This wasn't one that I liked right away because it's not like super graphic or anything like that. There's some stuff in this film that they do that I really like, and some of the it's about this guy in this train. He's like got this sort of evil demonic demon that's like in a cage and they're transporting it over a train. And so I don't know. It's some wild shit, dude. I saw it in I think it was a episode of Creepshow, the new Creepshow on Shudder, with this Horror Express as one of the sort of movies that this guy watches in VR. So it kind of made me want to pick up a copy of this already. I think this might be my second copy, but we got it anyway. And then Crucible Terror. I mean, this is a book that I read, The Art of Murder, as it says. I just wanted to watch this one too. Sometimes I get in the mood for these types of films. But I think we got these for $1 a piece. Up next, we got Nothing But Trouble. This is a comedy movie that has got some dance segments in this movie and songs by Digital Underground in here. And it's a really weird movie with Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, and Demi Moore. Everybody's like wearing prosthetics. It is a strange movie, but it's just one of those ones that Christina wanted to pick up and we saw at our exchange store for my birthday. So she picked this up, and I would love to watch this soon. Are you a fan of this movie? Have you seen it? I think they even got a Blu-ray transfer of it recently. We got it for like $4. Up next, we got Antlers, which is one of my favorite movies of last year. Finally got this on Blu-ray. I have not watched it since then, so probably give this a rewatch soon just for fun. But this was actually pretty impressive based off an old lore, a creature that a lot of times has not gotten the justice that it deserves on screen. And this one does a pretty damn good attempt, and it is a little bit more dramatic, involving a kid and like his family and his father changing into this monster and him sort of having to deal with it. But I thought it was pretty good. A lot of people felt like it was a little too long to get to the good stuff, but I thought it was pretty good. So we got it for $7. Up next, we got Arrow's Deadbeat at Dawn, which I have never seen, but this is like a sort of crime action film by Jim Van Bieber, who haven't heard too many wonderful things about the guy, but he had made these sort of like insanely graphic movies that were just practical effects soaked like nightmares of people getting punched to death and just exploding and getting shot and just violence galore. It's a kind of a movie that is almost like done in an SOV, which is shot on video style, but with a way bigger budget, just kind of within that vein of like, you know, movie making. I've never seen it, and I've heard everybody talk about just how violent it is, and they had a sale for my birthday, so I picked this up for like $20. It was like brand new, so I picked this up and I'm gonna check it out. Probably watch it on the podcast, so we'll see. Are you a fan? And last but not least, we have Spell, which was a favorite film of mine a couple years ago when it came out, and I never did get to pick it up, and we finally did for like $7 or $8. This is a movie about a guy who goes to visit his estranged father in the middle of Appalachia, West Virginia, or somewhere there around, and things go pretty fucking haywire. When he crash lands his plane with his family, things go awry, and some pretty seriously fucking messed up cat and mouse play are happening. Like, this guy gets held up in a local church sort of organization that practices voodoo, and man, there's some pretty wild imagery in this movie, and there is some pretty graphic shit. By the end of this movie, there is some funny parts. It's a little over the top, but it's pretty fucking fun, and I thought this was a great movie. I think I gave it like an 8.5 when we watched this, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think more people should see this. Some people were offended by it. I don't know why. I think because it's a little overdoing the Appalachia sort of thing, and voodoo and stuff like that. But, you know, the guy who made it is actually from South Africa and apparently has made other films too. This is one of his first films that he's made in a long time. I really enjoyed it. It had me look away a couple of times. But yeah, some great shit in this movie. But that's everything, guys. Yeah, that's everything we got for the month of April. And a little spilling into this month, but who's counting? You know, we got The Cursed here just the other day, and I figured it'd be fun to talk about anyway. So, but yeah, I hope you got to see some stuff that maybe you didn't know about existing, and if you saw something that I haven't seen in there that I should watch right away, let me know. I'll watch it, maybe review it for the YouTube or at least the podcast, which, by the way, if you ever want to listen to our podcast, all you got to do is look up Beyond the Void Horror Podcast in any of your Spotify, Apple, you know, Google, Amazon, anywhere that you listen to podcasts, and you'll find us. Thanks for coming by, and as always, long live the void.